Is Switzerland too expensive? Yes, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. Now, in this video, I'm going to share 17 easy and proven ways to save money when you travel to Switzerland. Because this is Switzerland Insider, my name is Greg, I'm Swiss, and my goal is to help you experience Switzerland like a local. A lot of travelers think the Swiss Travel Pass is the only way to get around Switzerland and save money as well. But that's not true. Depending on your itinerary, it might not be the best option. There are alternatives like point-to-point tickets, the Swiss half-hour card, or Saver Day passes, which can sometimes be much cheaper. Before buying the Swiss Travel Pass, take a look at your plans and compare the options. If you're not traveling long distances every day or planning to take a lot of mountain excursions, it might not be worth the cost. One of the easiest ways to save on transport in Switzerland is by using Super Saver tickets or the Saver Day Pass. Now, Super Saver tickets can be booked in advance on the SBB website. The catch? They're non-refundable and only available for specific routes and times, but if you already know when and where to travel, go ahead. Quite similar but valid for the entire day is the Saver Day Pass, which is not a great option, okay? If you plan ahead, you can get unlimited travel across the entire country for as little as 29 Swiss francs in second class. This pass is valid for trains, buses, boats, and even some mountain excursions. It's a fantastic deal if you ask me, especially if you're covering a lot of ground in one day. Now, when traveling around Switzerland, many assume public transportation is always the cheaper option, but that's not necessarily true. While trains and buses are super convenient, renting a car can sometimes be surprisingly affordable, especially in the off-season when prices drop so much it feels like they're almost wanting to pay you to take one. However, rental cars only make sense in certain situations. If you're sticking to one region, public transportation is often easier and more cost-effective. But if you're traveling as a group or planning a road trip through the entire country or also some regions of it, splitting the cost of a rental car can actually save you money.
I'm here in a very normal situation on a Swiss road, okay? I'm here with a cow.
Next up, visiting Switzerland during the off-season, as it can be a lot of a money saver. Now, if you travel in the shoulder seasons, like in late spring, that could be April to early June, or in autumn, which is sort of September to early November, you'll find cheaper hotels, discounted rental cars like we talked before, and fewer crowds. Even mountain excursions and scenic train routes are less busy, giving you a better experience, and sometimes they even drop the prices too. Now, if you're thinking of visiting Switzerland around Christmas, you might want to rethink that, especially if you're on a budget. Sure, it's a magical time, but from a cost perspective, it's a nightmare, okay? The mountains are jam-packed with tourists and locals, hotels, transportation and mountain excursions, they are all at the maximum price during that time. Now also late January and February are Swiss school holidays, so where actually you want to travel when you travel in winter is sort of in the early to middle of January, and also early December and mid-March are better times to visit. Now let's move a little bit into accommodation, where it can be said that it can actually be one of the biggest expenses for your trip, but there are plenty of ways to save, okay? The hostels here, they aren't just for young backpackers. They offer sometimes private rooms are often cheaper than hotels. There are bed and breakfasts and guest houses. They're also great alternatives that can give you a much more local experience at a much cheaper price. And if you want something really unique, consider staying on a farm, okay? Farm stays are increasingly popular in Switzerland, and they can be very affordable as well and offer an authentic experience in the countryside where sometimes you even get to help on the farm as well. Now, I'll be sharing more about it in another video, so make sure to subscribe to catch that. Now, if you don't want to sleep in the cows, and actually you can be staying right outside of the city center where it can be a little bit cheaper as well. Now, if you're on a budget, consider accommodation in sort of nearby towns or quieter neighborhoods or suburbs, okay? Public transportation in Switzerland is reliable and is well connected, that you can easily reach the main city or the tourist hub in a couple of minutes, sometimes even. So, for example, if you're visiting Interlaken, check out the surrounding areas like Wilderswil, Matten, Untersee, and Rinkenberg. They're close enough to enjoy everything Interlaken has to offer, but at a much lower price and sometimes a bit more authentic feeling. If you stay in Zurich, then the airport hotels are a very good option. Now, speaking about airports, Flights to Switzerland can vary a lot in price depending on which airport you choose. Now, most travelers fly into Zurich, but it's worth checking out Geneva, Basel, or even Milan in Italy if you're heading to southern Switzerland. Sometimes, flights to these alternative airports can be much cheaper. Because once you land, Switzerland's train system can easily take you to any region, so don't worry too much about where you arrive, because Switzerland also is quite a small country. Now, if you're traveling with family or friends, renting an apartment can be much cheaper than booking multiple hotel rooms. Not only because you save money, but you'll also have access to a kitchen, which helps cut food costs even further. Now, websites like Airbnb, or what I like to use a lot is Interhome, okay? They offer plenty of options, especially in smaller towns and rural areas. Now, splitting the cost among a group can turn what seems like an expensive stay into something far more budget-friendly. Now, we've talked about saving on transportation and accommodation, but let's switch gears a bit. There are plenty of ways to cut costs when it comes to activities and experiences too. Now, there are big names like the Glacier Express, which are heavily promoted, and rightly so, as they are really beautiful train routes, but they aren't always the best option for your budget. The good news is you don't need to commit to the entire ride, for example, with this one. Now, you can take shorter train trips along the same route using regular regional trains, enjoying the same stunning nature without paying extra for the panoramic windows or a mandatory seat reservation. And that sort of ties into with the next point, where it is that Switzerland's big name destination like the Jungfraujoch or the Zermatt, they are iconic and really great, but they come with prices and big crowds. And for a more budget-friendly and equally amazing experience, head actually to some lesser known alternatives. Okay? Instead of Zermatt, you can try Saas-Fee. It's another stunning mountain village, just one valley to the side. Okay, it's got fewer crowds, more affordable prices, and you still get sort of the same incredible alpine views you get, just without the Matterhorn though in that case. And instead of Jungfraujoch, check out Mount Titlis near Lucerne. It also offers year-round snow, spectacular views, and the price is about half. Now, there are other plenty fantastic places to explore that won't break your bank, okay? Öschinensee is a stunning turquoise mountain lake surrounded by very, very beautiful peaks and is perfect for a day hike. Blausee, just next door of it, is a small lake, okay? And it's really magical and is less expensive than other bigger attractions you would normally visit around in the region. Now, if you want to go up a little bit and enjoy some views, okay, you can try Klevenalp or the Stoss Ridge hike, okay, both are in the Lake Lucerne region and they have fantastic views from there, and the cost to go up there is actually not that much. Now, mountain excursions are one of the highlights when traveling in Switzerland, but they can get expensive really fast, okay? So, what you want to do, instead of visiting every single peak and calculating everything, maybe you prioritize, okay? You pick one peak instead of two and have a more meaningful and a bit more relaxed experience up there as well. Now, if you're staying in the Lucerne region, you could actually go to the two places mentioned before, or you can just say, hey, I just want to do Pilatus this time. I do not have to visit Mount Rigi. Now, if you're in the Jungfrau region, maybe you pick Schinigeplatte or First instead of trying all the other famous peaks in the area. You not only save money, but you'll also have more time to enjoy the experiences without rushing from one place to the other. Some mountain excursions like Rigi or Stanzerhorn are fully covered by the Swiss Travel Pass. Now, others offer discounts with the Swiss Half-Fare card, which is something we have here in Switzerland for you guys, where you can actually save a lot of money as well. Now, I've mentioned it a couple of times, but cable cars and mountain trains, they can get expensive. And what you can do is actually skip them and hike up. It's not only free, it's a wonderful way to experience the Swiss nature as well. But keep in mind that some of these hikes can be quite challenging. For example, the hike up to Harderkulm in Interlaken is steep and really gets into your legs. Also, what you can do is Grindelwald, okay, you can hike up to First is another option, or even to Kleine Scheideck if you like. There you have mountain panoramas all the way around and you will enjoy it, but you require a little bit fitness.
And now this is the last leg all the way up to First. I'm really happy. So far, it was harder than I expected, and it was also easier than I expected. And now, God, this is loud.
Now, not everything in Switzerland comes with a price tag. There are plenty of free activities that let you experience the country's beauty without spending any money. Now, as we have just mentioned before, hiking is maybe the most obvious one. Switzerland has plenty of well-maintained trails with very, very nice views. Now, this can be peaceful lake walks or sometimes even amazing ridge hikes. Let's say nature in Switzerland is basically a giant free playground if you want it to be. But there's so much more. Walking through authentic Swiss villages, you can watch the cows graze, in the green lands up above, and swimming in lakes and rivers during the summer, they're completely free as well. You can also explore cities like Bern, Zurich, and Lucerne on foot, checking out public parks, historical sites, and lively markets without spending a single cent. And for this exact reason, I have created the Zurich travel guide where you can have a lot of local experiences. Most of them cost absolutely nothing. Love to do them. There are plenty of hidden gems, There's a self-guided 2-hour walking tour. And if that's not enough, there's still itinerary samples for you. There's restaurant recommendations, hotel recommendations, all included in that guide. Link in the description where you can find out more about it. Now, in some regions of Switzerland, you'll be handed a guest card when you check into your accommodation. Now, these cards are often overlooked, but they can actually save you a lot of money. Depending on the region, they offer free public transportation, discounts on mountain excursions, and a reduced entry to local attractions. For example, in Grindelwald, the guest card gives you a very good discount on the Männlichen cable car. In Lucerne, it offers free travel on the city buses. And in Ticino, the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland, the guest cards is even more generous. It gives you free public transportation across the entire canton. Now, eating out in Switzerland can be very expensive, especially if you're having full dinners at restaurants every night. But here's a little known tip. Many restaurants offer lunch special with the same items that can be much cheaper than their dinner menus. Now, these deals usually include a main course, a drink, and sometimes even a dessert or a starter as well. Now, another way to save is to visit bakeries or supermarkets where you can grab fresh sandwiches, salads, or even create your own with local ingredients for much less than what you normally would pay when you visit a restaurant. Now, you combine this with a picnic by the lake or in a park, and you've got a memorable Swiss dining experience on a budget. One of the easiest ways to avoid overspending in Switzerland is to plan ahead and to be well informed. Now, research the regions you're visiting, check out what's included in local passes, and compare transportation and activity options before you arrive. Thanks for watching and see you soon around in Switzerland. Bis bald und tschüss.